you haven't noticed, my hair is blue now. So yeah, that happened. So I brought you guys into the office because I quickly want to talk about oil and why having an oil cooler is super important for someone who is thinking about tracking their car. Now, oil is without a doubt the most important fluid contained within your vehicle, and with oil coursing through various parts of your engine, oil can quickly gain heat, especially during vigorous driving such as doing time attack. Before oil enters the oil reservoir to be distributed around these systems, it needs to be cooled so the oil doesn't reach an unusable viscosity. What's viscosity? Well, think about a thick lumpy oil. This is considered high viscosity. Meanwhile, smooth, thin oil has a lower viscosity. So before we start this oil cooler install, we're having a really big issue with figuring out what way the oil cooler is supposed to face. Now, it makes sense to install it going downwards like this, but then it looks like Mishimoto. And if we install it up this way, the hoses are going to be facing upwards, which I don't know if that's, you know, cool, but a bunch of people on like the Z Society forums are running it this way with the lines going up.
There should be enough oil pressure for the oil still to shoot up.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think gravity needs to play a part in this. There should be enough pressure for the oil to just travel up and go into the engine. So I don't know. Very quickly, so I'm having an issue with my front bumper. This power steering cooler over here, the brackets are in the way of the bumper actually fitting correctly. So I'm thinking about bending these in order to give it some clearance, and also having these retied with a zip tie. I have to figure this out before I put the Mishimoto oil cooler in. Wish me luck, because I don't know if I'm going to be doing this wrong, but obviously I don't want this to rub on anything. God forbid that breaks and explodes. So we'll figure this out, and then we'll start with the oil cooler install. Sprayed some WD-40 on these bolts. Shut the fuck up. I swear to God it did. Ah! Yes! That's one. Those bolts probably never came out. So it's off. Stop me, I'm through. I don't know, we have to tie this somewhere. Oh my gosh! We're through! I was like, wait, the wall! We're gonna be on fire! Don't fucking touch it! Oh shit! Thank you. Thanks, Sharon, for that, because I'm honestly super afraid of cutting any type of metal. Those sparks scare the shit out of me. So we went ahead and we bolted the brackets of the power steering cooler onto this plastic piece over here, and we had to just do this because there was no other way the bumper was going to fit. I'm sure this looks ghetto, and I don't really care because it works. It's not touching the plastic, and we ran the lines and zip tied them correctly so it doesn't touch the actual cooler, but you guys can't really see it from over here. So I had to take off your oil cap, put that on top of there, make sure that the car is at a cool temperature. Do not do this when the car has been hot, because then you're gonna burn your fingers, and that's just not a good thing. So go ahead, do that.
There you go.
Why did I scare myself? There's no way. Oh, clean. Clean. Clean, bitch. Nothing on my fingers. Would you look at? Oh, wow, a little bit. Look, wow. 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 Okay, well, don't be a dumbass like me and let the filter get in the bucket, but here we go. It's fine, clean. Okay, so some of you guys are probably gonna be like, Mick, why are you using zip ties to hold this bracket in place? If you look in the upper left side, there is a bolt attached to the frame, but the bolts that Mishimoto provided weren't big enough to fit this second hole. Now, both holes are 2 different sizes and only 1 bolt fit. So I'm using 3 zip ties to hold it into place for now until I can go and get a drill bit, drill into that frame, and put a bolt in the other locations. So please don't kill me. I know this is just temporary. You got a long one and you got a short one. The long one goes towards the outside edge and the short one goes to the center. I'm gonna assume that means that this one goes here. And the short one goes here to your left. That's gonna suck. Oh no. So where you would normally put your oil filter, I'm gonna go ahead and just give this a quick clean with a shop rag, just like that. So here I have the Mishimoto sandwich plate, and I went ahead and added the banjo fittings. I'm gonna leave this loose because we're gonna adjust them once the hoses are attached. I'm gonna go ahead and add this adapter to where the oil filter would go. Don't forget that you're also gonna need your sandwich plate adapter. That should be good right there. I have an idea. Oh no. What's your idea? I was thinking maybe bring the steel braided lines over the bumper. Will it work? But the problem with that is that I have to take it to the wrap shop, and there's no way that they're gonna be able to take off the bumper then.
And there's no way you're gonna be able to disconnect your bumper if you need to. Like
Exactly. So that would be really bad, but it would look cool. Not gonna lie. Would love for it to stick out. I'm using this Mobil 1 extended performance oil filter, and I will add this first before we tighten up those braided lines. Huh? Doesn't help that I have oil all over the fucking filter itself. How great. But you're gonna want to hand tighten this. Please don't be one of those assholes that thinks that they have to like tighten the crap out of this filter. This is just fine even with me having oil all over it. So I went ahead and I cleaned off the oil filter and I tightened it even more, but like I told you guys, you don't have to tighten that like super tight. And go ahead and add your other fitting. Should be on like so. Okay, so I'm going to be using this Castrol Edge oil, and you're going to need 6 quarts of this. So I have this bottle and a 1 quart size bottle. You're going to put this whole shit in there and call it a day. I want you guys to know that you're going to be putting in 6 quarts, and that's more than usual, but you have to make up for the new oil cooler that's over there. So you can read it, it's online, 6 quarts, yeah. I feel like that was one of those like men things where like they tighten things so that you needed to ask for help. Exactly. So that should be good enough right there. Doesn't look like anything is spilling from underneath. That is old oil, there's nothing spilling, but I am gonna check underneath the car to make sure that there's nothing coming out of any of the fittings. All right, so I decided to put zip ties on the car for now because I am gonna come back tomorrow and I'm going to bolt them onto the sides and actually put the bolts on. I'm actually extremely tired at the moment and I just wanna start the car so that we can get the oil flowing in the engine and see if anything leaks. But yeah. She's looking good. Wow, that's awesome. I'm gonna let the 350Z run for a couple of minutes, but that is how you install the Mishimoto Oil Cooler for a 350Z. I hope this video was informative and it helps one of you guys. And if I did anything wrong, please educate me in the comments down below. As always, love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.